Hey guys, so today I'm going to do my pre-calculus final. So this is my first proof. So it's 1 minus cotangent for x equals 2 cosecant squared x minus cosecant 4x. So we're going to start right away. So for myself, I'm going to do two parts. So part one, I'm going to do the left side. So let's just see. I take off the left side, so it becomes 1 minus cotangent 4x, which, as you all know, cotangent is also equal to cosine over sine. And then it will become like this. So if we're going to get rid of this parentheses, we gotta also get the 1 involved, which we're gonna see here. It's sine 4x minus cosine 4x all over sine 4x, and then we're gonna start doing the upper part. Why you guys will know later. Just being lazy and easier to do, more efficiency way. So if we're going to take off this part, you can see that it becomes negative cosine 4x plus sine 4x, and this part we're going to use, well, actually for all this proof, I'm going to use only one identities, which is as here, cosine squared x plus sine squared x equals 1. Why? Because I'm lazy and there's no necessary to use others. So to get easier, we're going to expand this. Don't ask me why, because we're going to let this one becomes this, and our life will be much easier. So it becomes negative, open parentheses, cosine x plus sine x, close the parentheses, and open another parentheses, which is cosine x minus sine x, and close another parentheses and open one more, which is cosine square x plus sine square x, and close it. So right now, you can see it's familiar with what we've seen right here, right? Here. So this part will become familiar with this, and we're gonna move right to our next part. Just take a second, and okay. So for this part, we already let them becomes 1 because we use these identities to becomes 1, and others will remain same. And then we're going to next step, we just combine these two and get rid of the parentheses. Will become negative cosine square x plus sine square x. And till now, if you still don't really get it, go back and look again, or go ask your teacher. So now we're going to use our original identities to flip it around, which becomes sine square x equals 1 cosine square x. And let's see, if we plug in this sine square into this sine square, it will becomes 1 minus cosine square x minus cosine square x. Looks easy? Yep. From now, we just use our algebra. It will become 1 minus 2 cosine square x, and then we use our algebra skill, take the 2 out of this one, and negative sign. Why? You guys will know pretty soon. So it becomes negative 1 plus, open parentheses, 1 minus cosine x, square x, or close parentheses, and times 2. Why I'm going to do this? Because we're going to use our next identities. S and X is still, again, we're going to flip this around, becomes like this. Is 1 minus cosine square x equals to sine square x. And you use this 1 minus cosine square x and plug into this part. See what I'm doing? Yep. It will becomes minus 1 plus 2 sine square x. And then we're going to use this plug back to this. So it will become like this. And then I'm going to do the next part. Okay guys, so we just finished our left part and I'm going to do our right part. Yep. Everything needs to be equals, men and women too. So then math. Our left part, our right part is 2 secant square x minus secant 4x. If I pronounce wrong, yeah, whatever, because I'm Chinese, man. You cannot complain. So it will becomes 2 over, in case you guys don't know, so cosecant also equals to 1 over 1 over sine, and this is our basic 6 trig equations, I think so. So you guys need to memorize this to understand this. Okay, so whatever, 2 over sine square x minus 1 over sine 4x, and then we're gonna minus them together, well, through a substituents, I think so. So it will becomes 2 sine square x minus 1 all over sine 4x. Does it look familiar? Yep. If we're going to put this two together, see, they are all same, just the numbers flip it around. So I'm going to write it to the last proof. It will becomes, this is our right part, so our left part. So going to be 2 sine square x over sine 4x equal to 2 sine, oh, I forgot to add a minus sign here, sorry, and then sine, and then da-da. So this is my proof, and yeah, this is my first questions, and see our next questions. Okay guys, so I'm going to do my second part, which is question number 20. I don't know why I'm going to do it backwards, but it sounds fun. So yeah, so my second part will be tangent square x minus sine square x equals to tangent square x times sine square x. I don't know what's the difference, but I'm just gonna prove it. Okay, so dang. So I'm gonna use the same identity, which is cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1. But we're gonna flip it over, so it's gonna be like sine squared x equals to 1 minus cosine squared x. And I feel so thirsty, man. So we're gonna pull up the left part. Unlike the first one, we're going to pull out the left part first. See, gonna pull up this part to become like this. Pretty soon you're gonna know what I'm doing. So the tangent square x times sine square x will equals to, open parentheses, 1 minus cosine square x times tangent square x, because we plug in this sine square into this sine square, and it becomes like this. Okay, compared to the first part, this part is actually easier, much easier. That's why. So the tangent square x minus cosine. So we're going to expand this part. We're going to open this parentheses. Add this one, plug in this one, times this one. So it becomes like tangent square x minus cosine square x times tangent square x. So this part, if you don't know, man, you're gonna go back to algebra, man. Dang. So, flip it over, it will becomes like this. Well, actually, we don't flip this part. So, we're gonna take this part, negative cosine square x plus tangent square x, to take it out, and then we're going to excuse me, becomes negative sine x over cosine x. Why? Because tangent, as we all know, is sine x over cosine x, and we just plug it in, and everything will be the same. So the square also goes into the square, and then this part goes back to here. Everything is good and peaceful. Yep. And then we put this part back to our big equation, which is this one, and then it will becomes like this. Yes, so you can see everything is messed up, but it's good still. So if you find something funny, we can actually cross out this part. Will become like this. Paper is going fooling around. So cross out cosine square, and left out the sine, which will be minus negative sine square x. And then we're going to plug in back, which is negative sine square x plus tangent square x. Looks familiar? Yep. If we flip it around, it will become like this. And then back to our original equations, we can rewrite it. Well, actually not rewrite it, but we can prove that tangent square x minus sine square x equals to tangent square x and minus sine square x, which it's proved. Yep. And hope you guys will like it. Well, probably not, because it's boring, kind of boring now. Well, yeah, and I think that's it, man. Yep. See you guys next time. Bye.